Welcome back to Crystals and Codes. Thank you for being a part of this community. Today we're going to talk about something that sounds almost impossible. And honestly, for most of us, it is. Most of the time. We're going to talk about what it actually means to respond to verbal attack, real attack, hurtful words, unkind actions, aggression, with love. Not just tolerance, not just silence, but genuine, conscious love. Now, before you close the tab, I promise we're going to bring this all the way down to earth. No spiritual bypassing, no pretending it's easy, just an honest, grounded look at what this actually means for your real life. The big picture, why we're here. Let's start with the bigger picture, because it gives context to everything else. Here in third density, this physical, material experience we call life, there is separation. We feel it constantly, between ourselves and other people, between who we are and who we wish we were, between this moment and the peace we're searching for. But separation isn't the final truth. It's the lesson. Our journey as souls, through lifetime after lifetime, incarnation after incarnation, is a slow, beautiful, sometimes painful movement back toward oneness, back toward the source from which we came. And the curriculum of this density, the core subject we're here to study, is love. Not romantic love, not sentiment, but love as a living force, as the very fabric of what connects us all. As we begin to truly learn this lesson, as we begin to use love consciously in the way we think, speak, react, and relate, we create the conditions for real evolution. We move closer to the next step in our journey. And one of the most powerful classrooms for this work? The moments when we are in conflict with others. The passage. I want to share an interesting passage which comes from the Raw Material, a channeled metaphysical text that explores the nature of consciousness, evolution, and the cosmos. Here is the exchange. Questioner. Would a perfectly balanced entity feel any emotional response in being attacked by the other self? Ra. This is correct. The response is love. In the illusion that we now experience, it is difficult to maintain this response, especially if the attack results in physical pain. But I assume that this response should be maintained even through physical pain or loss of life. Is this correct? Ra. This is correct, and further is of a major or principal importance in understanding, shall we say, the principle of balance. Balance is not indifference, but rather the observer not blinded by any feelings of separation, but rather fully imbued with love. Sit with that for a moment. Balance is not indifference. The balanced response is love. What does love actually mean here? Before we go any further, we need to get on the same page about what love actually means in this context. Because I think the word gets misused and misunderstood constantly. Love, as we're using it here, is not a feeling that washes over you when things go well. It's not warmth when someone is kind to you. It's not ease when life cooperates. Love, in its deepest sense, is the recognition of shared existence. It is the awareness that the person in front of you, even the one who is hurting you, is not truly separate from you. They are another expression of the same consciousness, navigating their own pain, their own fear, their own unresolved wounds. Love is seeing through the surface of the moment to the truth beneath it. And crucially, love includes yourself. A balanced, loving response does not mean you become a doormat. It does not mean you absorb abuse silently and call it spiritual. It means you hold yourself and the other person in a kind of clear, compassionate awareness, without losing yourself to reactive anger or collapsing into victimhood. That is the goal. And it is genuinely hard. Breaking it down. So let's take the passage apart piece by piece. The response is love. When you are attacked, whether it's a cruel comment from a colleague, a blow-up from a partner, a passive-aggressive remark from a family member, the highest possible response the one that serves your own evolution most deeply, is love. What does that look like practically? It might look like a pause before you speak. It might look like curiosity. Why is this person in so much pain right now? It might look like firmness delivered without contempt. It might even look like walking away, not in defeat, but in grace. Balance is not indifference. This is so important because I think a lot of us confuse spiritual equilibrium with emotional detachment. We think being above it all means not caring, but that's not balance. That's dissociation. Balance means you're able to feel. You feel the sting of the attack, the hurt, the frustration, maybe even the anger. And this is the practice. You don't let those feelings make your decisions for you. You feel them, you acknowledge them, and you choose your response from a deeper place, not blinded by any feelings of separation. When we're attacked, the most natural thing in the world is to entrench. You versus me, them versus us. The ego draws a hard line and prepares for war. But that line, that feeling of separation, is exactly what obscures our ability to respond with love. The moment we see the other person as purely other, we lose access to the deeper response. The practice is to soften that line, even slightly, even in a moment of pain. To remember, this person right now is also suffering. That doesn't excuse their behavior, but it changes the energy of your response, making it real. Here's the honest truth. Most of us are not going to achieve perfect balance in a heated moment. That's okay. That's not the point. The point is the direction we're moving. Start small. When something irritates you today, a driver cutting you off, a dismissive email, a thoughtless remark, notice your first impulse. Feel it. Don't judge it. And then ask yourself, is there another way I could hold this? You can also work on your environment. Surround yourself, as much as possible, with things that support calm and peace. Practices that anchor you, people who reflect your values, spaces that feel safe and restorative. The more rooted you are in your baseline, the less reactive you'll be when disruption comes. And be compassionate with yourself. The fact that you're even thinking about these questions means you're doing the work. Every moment of awareness, every choice to pause, every small step toward a loving response, it matters. It adds up. We're all in this together, navigating a dense and sometimes difficult world, trying to remember who we really are beneath all the noise. The invitation isn't perfection. The invitation is presence, the willingness to keep returning, again and again, to love as a conscious choice. In the Law of One, Ra also shared 4 specific exercises that may help accelerate your spiritual growth, and I share those exercises in the video linked on your screen now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this video spoke to your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to join our growing community of seekers, healers, and conscious explorers. I hope we connect next time on Crystals and Codes.